Whoa, that is bright. Well, just super excited to be at this point in our 2025 journey. This is kind of what it all builds to, is just getting to the season. You work all year for just a few days, and one of those days is coming up just a few weeks down the road, and opportunity to get back on the field with our team as a full staff and a complete team next week. So excited about that. Got some great young men with me. So obviously I don't know where Antonio went. Where's he at? He's coming around, but Antonio Williams is with us. He's somewhere around here, but he's our great receiver, going to graduate in December. Cade Klubnik also going to graduate in December, and then we got two outstanding defensive players here in T.J. Parker and Peter Woods. But they're all great people. And these two guys right here, 3 years, great players, but great leaders. Both will graduate in December in 3 years. So great representatives on the field, but also off the field for our program. And just excited about getting going, and look forward to getting on the field with them next week. It's been a good off season. The guys have put the work in. We been around a lot of good teams, and this team, has the ingredients to be a really good team, but we got to go do the work. We can't talk about it or predict our way in it. Y'all can't predict our way into it. We've got to go do it and do the work, and so excited about that next phase of our journey. And then for me personally, this is my 36th year in college football, and my 23rd at Clemson, 13 at Alabama, and year 23 at Clemson. I mean, it's just it's special. Just incredibly grateful and blessed to have an opportunity to be a part of a team and have a chance to do something that I really love, and that's the game of football and competing and doing life with a bunch of great young people.
We've got about 12 minutes with Coach before we rotate into our student athletes, so I'll ask that you please identify yourselves and the agency you are with, and we will watch the hands go right up into the air at this point. So, Coach, we will start right side, third row. Again, from the third row back, please stand.
Kenton Gibbs with Locked On ACC. Coach Swinney, there was a time a few years ago where people were having that conversation of had you fallen off at, a 10-11 game or 10-11 win season. What does it say about your consistency as a program that there's a perennial expectation of national championship or bust darn near?
Well, I think we've earned that through consistency. I mean, we did something last year that only 4 teams in 160 years of college football have done. And, Nebraska did it with Coach Osborne, Coach Bowden at Florida State, Coach Saban at Alabama, and now Clemson. 14 straight 9+ win seasons, 13 of those 10+ win seasons. So, we've earned that through consistency, and that's really for us what it's always been about, is just being incredibly consistent. We're not perfect, but we're incredibly consistent. But that's because we're purpose driven, and we're relationship driven. And I think our program reflects that purpose in everything, in every aspect. We got the highest graduation rate in America. 13 out of the last 14 years we've been top 10 academically. We're the only school in America 14 years in a row top 25 in football and academics. So, we're a place that really values education. And again, that's the start of our purpose. And the kids that come there, they align with that. It's a holistic approach. And we've won as well. And in the craziest, probably 3 years of college football, not only are we tops in the country in graduation, we're top in the country in retention, and fewest players leaving your program. So, we're purpose-driven, we're relationship-driven, and we've created a ton of consistency, not just in winning. We've been incredibly consistent, but how we've won, and that's by fulfilling the purpose that drives our program and drives the habits within our program every day.
Coach, left side, first row.
Coach Cole Bryson with the Fan Upstate. Earlier this morning, your quarterback was talking about this year's team being a veteran team with the amount of freshmen that you played the last 2 years. Obviously, you have to be talented, but in this new era and landscape of college football, how big of a hand up do you feel like the veteran presence gives your team going into the season?
Well, I mean, it's awesome. I mean, experience, as they say, that doesn't come at a discount. Like we've got a bunch of great young men. Our quarterback, especially, that's had to, manage success well, and he's had to manage some failure well too. And he's grown into a great leader of our team. And the experienced guys, we have most of our team back. I think that again speaks to our retention. These guys can leave anytime they want, but they have to choose, first of all, to come, and then they have to choose to stay. And I just think that says a lot about kind of how we put it together on the front end. In recruiting guys that really align with our purpose, guys that really value education and want structure and family and accountability, but also they value the place that they're at. And these guys they could all go wherever they want to go, but it's a close group. They've done football life together for a few years now, and they've had some success. And certainly last year, and getting a chance to kind of maybe get a little glimpse at the top of the mountain, that's certainly given them a little fuel as they've gotten back to work since January. But great leaders that really truly care about each other. They care about the place. And they have a very clear vision of how they want to finish. Now they got to go do the work.
Coach, right side, second row, hard to the right.
Hey, Coach. Ralph Amsden, Unafraid Show with George Reister. Came out, had an opportunity to tour the facility, and one of the things that stuck out was the pod journey. And you talk a lot about retention versus the rest of the country, what you guys are able to do. Can you speak to how Pod Journey helps you keep the players around that you recruit out of high school?
Yeah, so again, our purpose is graduation, number one. Number two, it's to equip them as men, through the game. Number three, it's to make sure they have a great college experience. And then lastly, is to win a championship. I want everybody that comes there to win a championship. That's how we started the program 16 years ago, and nothing has changed. And so Paul Journey is not something that we just started doing. The day that I became an interim coach, October 13th, 2008, I went next door. I lived next door to a guy named Jeff Davis, and he was just my neighbor for 6 years. I didn't really know him as, this great player, and he wasn't working in Clemson football. He was on campus doing development and working with Call Me Mr. Program, and I just kind of laid out my vision. It's like this: if I ever got to be a head coach, this is kind of what I want to do. And the AD said I get to be the head coach for 7 weeks, and I can do whatever I want. And I was like, so this might only be a 7-week job, but this is what I want you to come. I want somebody who's not a coach, and I want somebody who can help me coach life every day, because life's happening. Coaches are busy, and we're in meetings. And in those days, there were 9 coaches, 2 GAs, and one ops guy. And so, the coaches wore every hat. And so I hired Jeff Davis, and I ended up getting the job. And so he was a one-man shop creating this curriculum that we now call Paul Journey. And now it's 6 people, and it's a living, breathing space. It's at the entrance of our building. But it is a curriculum. I mean, we have micro internships all over the world. We've had 100% job placement 7 years in a row. We are equipping them as men. They learn everything from how to tie a tie to how to have a nice dinner to doing a resume to how to do an interview. We had a group go to Italy this summer. They went to South Africa last summer. They've been to Thailand, Costa Rica. We are creating life experiences, financial literacy, tax education. We've been doing that for 16 years. And now, with an actual true financial component to college, it just allows us to even further equip them as men. 81% of the guys who've gotten a shot at the NFL from Clemson have made the roster. That's incredible. So Paul Journey's been a huge part of that. I mean, it truly is an amazing program. And, the players can speak even more to it. We're involved in the community a lot. They learn how to serve. We like to say we're a leadership organization. We just play football doing it. And a lot of great leaders have developed. And so that's how we equip them as men, is through Paul Journey. and then having a great college experience. Well, I mean, every summer I see all these pros back in Clemson, you know, from Dexter Lawrence to Cleveland Furrow and Christian Wilkins and so on, training for 4 and 5 weeks. I've got 25 former players on my staff. You know, they had a great experience. We are top in the country in retention because we're living the purpose. And then over the last part's winning a championship. And so 16 years later, if you say you're purpose-driven, then you ought to have purpose-driven results. And we have the highest graduation in America. Paul Journey is the model player development organization in all of college football. Our kids are staying at a high level because they're having a great experience. And every player that I've ever signed since February of '09, my first signing class, has won a championship. When I got the job, Clemson hadn't won the league in 20 years. Every player that has signed at Clemson since February of '09, every player has won a championship. But it's how you win that I think really separates places and people. And you know, there's a lot of narratives, but that's the facts. And but it all goes back to, you know, how we put it together on the front end, getting the right people, you know, that really align with what you believe. And you got a group of young men right here that could have gone anywhere in the country out of high school, could go anywhere. Every year they've been here, they could have gone somewhere. But they've chosen to be a part of it because they are living that purpose. Again, you got 2 that are going to graduate in December in 3 years. And then Kay's going to graduate in right on time in 3.5 years. And they're all developed as men. They're all having a great experience, and they've won championships. So the only people in our building that hadn't won a championship is those guys that just got there. So they're on the clock. But we've never put winning a championship first. It's always been about the purpose that I talked about. And again, Paul Journey is an incredible aspect to that. And Jeff Davis has been, you know, a huge partner in every ounce of success that we've had at Clemson. Jeff Davis has been right there. And I'm talking about from being the captain of the 1981 national championship team to later in life coming back and buying into the vision that I really wanted to create in being a head coach and how I wanted to do it. And I told him, well, here's why. This is why I want it to be that way. And then, man, he's taken it and gone from what we originally called a player relations department to Paul Journey. So it's been awesome to watch.